This offshore oil rig is 16 floors high and 2 football fields wide, and its weight is surprisingly more than an aircraft carrier. This oil platform is called a Appomattox, which is currently located 130 km away from the coast of Louisiana in North America in the Gulf of Mexico. But its destination started a few years ago thousands of miles away from South Korea, where thousands of workers and engineers were busy building this oil platform. After 7 years of hard work, when Appomattox was ready, the engineers had to face a challenge that they were doing for the first time in their career. The problem was that this giant structure had to be shipped from South Korea to the Gulf of Mexico. And for this, the world's largest marine transport vessel was ordered. It was a task to lift the Appomattox oil platform and place it on this vessel, which would take at least 7 days. But suddenly they got the news that a storm has broken out in the Pacific Ocean, and this storm has taken the form of a super typhoon. This level of typhoon occurs once in 20 years. This typhoon, which travels at a speed of 315 km per hour, can attack the coast of South Korea at any time in the next 7 days. And we all know that when a super typhoon attacks somewhere, it does not go without causing damage. Now the challenge for workers, engineers, and transport experts was that they had to do the work of 7 days in just 3 days. That is, if within 3 days the Appomattox oil platform is not picked up from the shipyard, loaded on this marine vessel, and sent off, then years of hard work can be wasted in a moment. This was a problem that shook the entire management from bottom to top. Welcome to this MindMirror video again, and if you are new on this channel, like and subscribe so that our new video can reach you as soon as possible. So let's go to the video. Viewers, this oil platform was Shell Oil Company's biggest project, and this was the reason why they had no room for even a small mistake. To avoid the super typhoon and to send the Appomattox before time, it was very important to complete the remaining work, for which an extra army of workers was called. Workers worked day and night and soon started preparing the Appomattox for transport. On the other hand, the management and the meteorological administration were keeping an eye on the movement of the super typhoon. They had a hope that this super typhoon might change its direction, but their hopes were shattered when they found out that the typhoon was heading straight for South Korea from the Pacific Ocean. The workers' army worked hard and completed all the work of the Appomattox in just 3 days, and now it was time to pick up this giant structure and put it on the floating dock. The weight of this whole structure was said to be 41,000 tons. So much steel was not even used in the construction of Burj Khalifa as it was used on this oil platform. With the help of big hydraulic jacks, it was pushed by 1 inch and placed on the floating dry dock. With the help of tugboats, the floating dock was pulled away from the shipyard from where it was to be loaded in this marine vessel. This is the world's largest marine transport vessel, which can easily carry a weight of 98,000 tons. And on this, the Appomattox had to go to the other corner of the world, Gulf of Mexico. The next morning, the Appomattox was taken off the floating dock. Now, the oil platform started floating on water for the first time. With the help of tugboats, the platform was pulled to deeper water, where this marine vessel was already waiting. On the other hand, the super typhoon was rapidly moving towards South Korea, and a sword was hanging over the head of the management. Now, the super typhoon was only 48 hours away, and as it was getting closer, its signs were also beginning to appear in the sea. The sequence of winds and waves in the sea was increasing, which was a sign of danger for the Appomattox. The next moment was very delicate. Loading the oil platform on the vessel is a very complicated task. For this, the first vessel intakes water in its own water tanks, which causes it to go inside the water. Then the tugboats pull the oil platform and take it above the vessel, and then at the end, the vessel pulls the water out again, which causes the vessel to rise up. But this task is not as easy as you saw in this animation. For this task, it is very important that the sea is peaceful, because if this work is done in the waves, the Appomattox will not be able to load on the vessel in the right alignment, and this thing can be dangerous for both the vessel and the Appomattox. Because of the super typhoon, the sea was very fast. It was not possible to do this work because of the waves and strong winds. On the other hand, time was passing very fast, and the stress level of the whole team was very high. Fortunately, the meteorological department gave the team only 2 hours the next morning, in which there were chances that the sea would be peaceful. If this work is not done in these 2 hours, then there will be no chance after this. The super typhoon was now only 36 hours away. As it was said in the morning, the sea was completely peaceful. In the first opportunity, the oil platform was pulled over the vessel, and the vessel took it out of the water and loaded it on itself. Many hours before the super typhoon, Appomattox had finally succeeded in saying goodbye to South Korea. Shell had completed the first challenge by saving its oil platform from the super typhoon. But this does not mean that there will be no more challenges ahead. After many months of travel, the oil platform was unloaded in South Texas, because there were 4 modules that were being manufactured here. The modules were fitted one by one on the platform, and once again it was sent 130 km away for its destination, where it had to stay for the next 40 years. After 7 years of hard work, the time had finally come when Appomattox had to be connected to the oil well 30,000 feet below. The place where Appomattox is floating in the water, the bottom of the sea, is 7,400 feet deep. This is so deep that about 3 Burj Khalifa can fit in it. But the oil well from which Appomattox had to be connected was surprisingly 22,600 feet below this depth. The pressure of water is so high in the depth of the sea that it is impossible for a person to go there and complete a mission. Therefore, it was decided to use a remotely operated underwater vehicle to connect Appomattox with the opening of the oil well at the bottom of the sea. The installation crew, which was installing the underwater pipelines from a separate platform, sent the ROV into the sea with the help of a crane. This is a very complicated task in which the pipeline has to land at the top of the opening of the oil well. The ROV operator, who is performing this mission like a video game, has the control to perform this work with such accuracy. Fortunately, this work was done for the first time. Now it was time to transfer the pipe from the installation platform to Appomattox. This process is called riser transfer, in which 4 different vessels work together. First, a chain was removed from Appomattox, then the ROV took this chain to the second ship. From this ship, this chain was pulled by the second platform, and then, finally, the pipe was pulled from Appomattox towards itself. After this, the drilling work was started. The pipe had to be drilled to the oil well about 600 feet below the seabed. After many months of drilling, the pipe had finally reached the oil well. Now it was time to pump the oil. To see this moment, the whole team was assembled and the oil pump was turned on with the help of a button. When the oil was pumped for the first time from 30 feet below, everyone was happy. The hard work of the workers, engineers, and management had brought color. The oil flow and its quality were perfect. Today, Appomattox produces 175,000 barrels of oil every day, which produces so much fuel that 40,000 vehicles use in a day. Shell believes that Appomattox will continue to produce oil like this for the next 40 years, i.e., by 2060. I hope you will like and share this video of MindMirror. Thank you very much for your lovely comments. See you in the next great video.